So we're in deep conversation. We're talking about something big. It's like an iconic moment, really for all of us up here, and for a lot of people out there too. And this guy, he's a hooper. He's a basketball guy. I know, thick and thin. He's still playing to this day. He's still hooping to this day. Not every day, but he's still hooping.
Good knees.
I am.
Good knees.
I don't know how he's doing it, so. But I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it.
I got a good woman to rub my knees. So
I got it. I respect.
Knees
Respect.
like the dream.
Respect.
The dream knees.
Yeah.
The dream. You know, he's still putting the knee pads on like Hakeem and Pat Ewing. Pat Ewing.
Nah, you gotta say the dream, man.
The
He a
dream.
Houston
Well, he
guy,
a dream
man.
shaker. That's all good. But this man is telling me today, if Michael Jordan was still playing on that 94, 95, the Rockets still would have won the championship.
Absolutely.
And I asked the man to tell me the truth. But he's telling me, he's telling me his truth. Ain't no way you was beating Mike.
We was bigger than Mike. We was bigger than the Bulls. 1. 2, Mike was there. Mike was there. It was half the season, but he was there. We was bigger than them.
Mike wasn't even in shape at that moment.
We was bigger than them, and Mike was there. I don't want to hear no excuses. Ty, I don't want to hear no excuses. We was bigger than them. Mike was there,
Right.
and Hakeem Olajuwon was at the peak of his career. The stuff with Hakeem,
Nobody
can't
was
teach
touching the
nobody.
dream. I'm not knocking
But that's
that.
why we would have won.
Because of Hakeem only?
Well, not just that. I'm gonna tell you a low key name y'all don't know about. Vernon Maxwell.
I know Vernon Mad
Yeah,
Max.
that's
We
ain't
know
no
Mad
secret.
Max.
Max
That's
was
not
We
a
know
secret.
Mad Max.
Look, let me
Don't
tell you
disrespect
something.
me. I know Mad Max. He played for the Sixers for a minute.
That's not a
Yes,
secret.
sir.
No, he ain't a secret to nobody.
And him and Kenny was our low key weapons, bro. I'm telling you, he would have been on Jordan.
Who? Mad Max?
Mad Max would have been on Jordan. I'm telling you.
Mike still
You know what?
I'm not.
I guess we'll never know because see,
We'll never know.
I'm biased a little bit because see, you know, being a Bama guy, Robert Ory is a name you didn't say.
Yes, he is.
That's who I thought
Yes,
you was
sir.
going to say. That's
Big-
who I
big
thought you
shot.
was going to
But
say.
That's how they won them
everybody-
games.
But
That's how they
everybody
won
knew
them
about Big
games.
Shot.
You know,
But everybody saw
but,
they won them games,
you know, his position, what he was doing back then. That's what those guys doing now. He had the outside shot.
He
He,
did,
had
he
this
did.
side.
Yeah, 3-point
you know?
shot.
So, but we'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
I'm
We'll
gonna,
never know.
I'm gonna live with that. I'm gonna die with
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I'm gonna respect that. Because they
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
They did.
They won.
They did.
Let-
Back to back. Don't get me. Back to back. Let's
Let him live with it. Let him
back
live
to
with
back.
it.
Okay.
I love them. You can talk about my mama, don't talk about my Rockets. I'm gonna tell you that.
Talk about my Rockets.
I'm gonna tell you.
That's much respect. Hey, welcome to the Addies Podcast. My guy. It's deep brother here. Deep brother here. We made Chief the same year.
Yes, we did.
Out of Houston, Texas. Swaggers?
Mm?
Swaggers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trill?
Yeah, I like Trill. You know the deal, man. You know, Pimp C, Bomb B.
B.
Yeah,
You
yes,
know
sir.
the deal.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Brother came in the Navy out of Houston, Texas. First command, went out there to Japan. You know, came back to Florida, Jacksonville, went back to Japan. We're gonna talk about that. Why so much Japan? Made Chief, picked up LDO right away. 11, 12 years in the game, something like that. I look at him as like he was that dude that came up with me. And now he's due to retire here shortly. You know, walking away, opportunity to make captain. You know, but again, he's my generation. You know, it's another brother that I hold dearly. Same thing. We all made Chief the same year. Me and him went through the same time. But you are that guy, like this, like along with my other guy, Tony Ellis. Like you our generation. You know, you made that pinnacle move, leave Houston, Texas, join the Navy. My guy, Commander Uries, JG Anderson. We're gonna get to the JG part because it don't go with nothing about
Yeah.
you know Uries Anderson.
You right.
But JG, and I just learned where JG came from
Mhm.
at my man JP retirement ceremony.
Mhm.
All these years, I'm like, where did the JG come
I
from?
know, right? I know.
Where's that play at? You know? But brother, we can hear the talk, man. I mean,
Yes,
I
sir.
want to hear get to know. I know you,
Yes, sir.
but they need to know you, your journey,
Yes, sir.
what you did to get here, and the mark that you made in the Navy, the
Mhm.
inspiration that you gave people. You know, the leadership, the management, the motivation. You motivated me to keep going. I'm watching you grow and grow. I'm like, this dude really. And now you talking about you the CEO.
Mm.
Kid from Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Got the authority to say, hey, I got to send you home because you ain't acting right.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that guy.
And that's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part.
Mhm.
Because you're a ground guy. Like you can't, we talking about coming from the mud, that's you.
Mhm.
Listen, like he's the story that we tell our junior sellers about. Those first time sellers when we say
Yeah.
that, hey, you can achieve what you want in this Navy,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And we're gonna touch on all that. But again, I mean, my salute to you, my hats off to you, appreciation for you, because again, from taking orders to giving orders,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
respectfully, it's just not many people can climb that ladder from the E1 all the way to big CEO,
Right,
commanding officer, and so I'm ready to get started.
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. Bro, what was going on in Houston at that time to say, hey, I can stay here,
Mhm.
probably play basketball for
Mhm.
somebody, do
Mhm.
whatever, but I'm going to go join the Navy.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, and before that, what was the upbringing from Houston, Texas?
Yeah.
Because we know about it. I got my first taste of Houston from Scarface.
Mm. Mhm.
My first taste of Houston came from Scarface.
I think a lot of us,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
for
yeah,
those who ain't from
yeah,
there,
yeah.
it's the music.
And I'm
The
gonna tell
music
you,
bring
on the
us
East
there.
Coast, it was straight East Coast. But
Yeah.
when you talk about Scarface came through, it's like, oh wow, oh we gotta listen to Ghetto
He
Boys.
painted the picture, so
Yeah.
explain the picture to us.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, so Scarface was definitely with hip hop. I'm gonna tell
Mhm.
you this real quick, right? My wife right now has Scarface's girlfriend's number in her phone.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we went on a cruise probably about 6 months ago, back in April. I'm doing public math,
Yeah.
right? And I got pictures right now. Me and Scarface smoking a stick.
Wow.
We sat and chopped it up.
That's a legend there.
His girl and my wife kind of went and did their own thing while we talked guy
Right.
stuff.
Mhm.
But that was my really one of my first introductions to Houston rap. You know, we
Yeah.
called it rap a lot. I'm not
Rap a lot. Yeah, oh, yeah.
No,
We know
okay.
rap a lot.
What
Rap.
we talking about?
Come on now.
Yeah.
To
Hell yeah.
Ghetto Boys. They lived probably, all of that. What they talked about was probably 15 minutes from my home.
Okay.
It was something that I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to rap a little bit. I wasn't good at it at all.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just kind of on the entertainment side, we go to the JG thing because I like to sing,
Mhm.
right? I'm not saying I can sing.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just enjoyed
Yeah.
singing.
Yeah. Right.
And
We
Right.
tracking.
quick
We
thing,
tracking.
man.
We tracking.
I got a picture right now with Ralph Tresvant.
Mm.
Okay, new edition.
And
Okay,
I told him I was pissed off at them because when Bobby Brown left, they didn't call your boy.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
You
you
supposed
got
to
an
get that call.
opportunity to
I
tell
needed that
him.
call.
He got an opportunity
I
to
got
tell
that
You got
them.
the opportunity to tell them.
Yeah.
So they always on the Tom Joyner cruise. So it was just a really good session that we sat and talked.
Nice.
But yeah, Houston. That's born and raised, man. I tell you, coming from that background, I'm from the ghettos of Houston. It is
Yeah.
what it is, right? There was a lot of things that I didn't know until I joined the Navy. I didn't take my first shower until I joined the Navy.
Yeah. I
You
know
know
where
that
you at
kind
with
of
that. Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
I live that.
So
Mhm.
I didn't know that. I'll tell you a quick story, right? When I was in boot camp, they said, hey, we'll put our money together and we'll buy a radio, right? And I think every other day or every night we'll play a different genre of music.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's the thing from Houston. It's only like 3 genres of music, right?
Yeah.
That's rap, that's blues, and that's R&B, right?
Right.
So I'm like, cool, I'm in it. They put that on and they started playing country and rock. Like, whoa. This ain't what I signed up for.
Right,
When I put my money in for that.
Yeah.
But that was my first time of learning some diversity stuff.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
coming from Houston. You know,
Right.
I got
Houston,
you.
I was sheltered, man, and just kind of in a uh, a scene where all we know was what we saw. That's
Mhm.
I saw drugs.
Mm.
You know, I saw you know, there was some prostitution that I
Yeah.
saw, things like that, selling drugs, some insurance schemes. I saw all of that.
Right.
That's all I knew. So
Right. And you joined the Navy.
and joined the Navy.
So this was the early '90s, right?
Yes, sir. That
So
was early
so
90s.
again, you could have stayed and you know partaked in that, but why? Okay, you know what? What made you say I'm gonna leave that environment and go try to better myself?
That's a good question, man. So buckle up a little bit.
Oh yeah, we here.
So my father didn't believe in college. You know, those old school cats back then believed in instant gratification. They, you know, it was trade schools. It was auto mechanics. You go to fix a car. My father couldn't understand the concept of going to college for 4 years and then having to pay them back.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Mm.
So what they understood was the only thing he really understood was the army.
Okay.
Okay. Even right today, you go back. Have I made sergeant yet? That's the only thing black
Oh,
folk
wow.
But
know,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. No matter what service you in.
No matter what service you in.
How the army? How you doing in the army?
How the army do? You a
yeah,
sergeant yet?
yeah.
And you know what?
yeah.
After like a few visits, yeah, I'm a sergeant. I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sergeant.
All right,
Right?
you convinced me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was prepped to go to the Navy, and then a tragedy happened. And you know, I encourage you to just Google my name. But my father was murdered in my
Mm.
house on the kitchen floor.
Wow.
I was gone. My mother was gone. My brother was gone. You know, it was like the perfect scenario for that to happen.
Yeah.
And he laid on the kitchen floor for 2 days
Wow.
before we found him. But that was something he really wanted me to do. When I saw that recruiter, and I talk about this in my speech
Mm-hmm.
for my retirement. But
Yeah.
when that recruiter came in, and I still have his signature right now because I was 17,
Mhm.
and he had to authorize, kind of
Yeah.
sign for
Your
me.
father.
You're my mom, you're my father.
Mhm.
And I was supposed to leave in August. It happened July. I think the police report said like July 13th, man. And they left him on the kitchen floor. And I tell you something, bro. I didn't never tell that story until I was the MMCO 15 years later
Mm.
in Norfolk. And the
Mhm.
reason I didn't do that, for two reasons. One, I didn't want nobody to feel sorry for Andy.
I got you.
You know
I
what I mean?
got you.
Yeah.
Anything I earned, I earned it through
Right.
my own merit.
Mhm.
Secondly, the what people say about black people was it was a drug deal gone bad.
Mm.
That wasn't my pop, man.
Mm.
That wasn't my pop, and I didn't want that. I didn't want that story to get
Wow.
out there that it was a drug deal gone bad. Because the thing about it, if you read my when I encourage you guys to go online, look Uries Anderson, Google my name, and you'll see that there was a lot of fabricated stuff. He said that he came.
Really?
Yeah, the cat said he came over to settle a debt with my dad,
Mhm.
right? And it was self defense. And he called the ambulance after it happened, and my father passed away on the way to the hospital.
Mm.
That wasn't the case. My father
Yeah.
was laid on the kitchen floor
Mhm.
for 2 days. And my aunt next door, they came over, and because they didn't see him,
Yeah.
and they found him on the kitchen floor.
Murdered.
Yeah, murdered, man.
Man.
So that was
Sorry to hear about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
all good, man.
yeah.
I couldn't talk about that for like the first 15 years of my service, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the Navy didn't believe in that
At that moment, like
they didn't believe
yeah,
in that
yeah.
mental
Therapy.
health stuff.
Yeah.
Therapy.
Yeah. It wasn't
Because I'd have
it
ended up
wasn't
in
a
the
thing.
Gita, and then I'd have been out the
Right.
Navy.
Right.
Mhm.
They
You
didn't
couldn't
tolerate that.
You couldn't come off like you was like you got problems.
Yeah,
like you got
exactly.
issues. You had to stay
Exactly.
hard
You had to yeah.
the whole
Right.
time.
Hey, get
Yeah.
on that flight deck. We need you on that flight
Yeah.
deck, right? And I would tell you, I was in the launch check, and I remember they used to have what they call stars and stripes, and the stars and
Mhm.
stripes. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would tell you what's
magazine.
happening in each city, a lot
Right.
of different cities. And sure as shit, I'm in the line shack and I'm just flipping through it, just waiting on my plane to come back.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Saw my name and saw that the guy had filed an appeal and all of that other stuff, man.
Really?
And yeah, I still got it. I still got it.
And
in
how
my-
long had you been in by the time you saw this?
So I was in the line division, so I had been in probably about 2 years.
About 2
2
years.
So the trial was still going on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, so it was a 15-year thing before he got executed.
Really?
and I was there.
Mhm.
I was this close from here to probably that camera.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, there's a in Texas, everybody get executed at 1800, and there's a
Wow.
glass here, and there's a glass by his feet. Glass by his feet is for his family members.
Mm.
Glass by his head is for the victims.
Victims.
So we
Okay.
can't see each other.
Okay.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I tell you, I was this close to him, and his eyes were bloodshot red, right? And I just tell you, you got to get that 1400 Huntsville prison, and they take you through this thing. Hey, don't do this, don't say that. You're in a prison, and what got me, well, two things. One, when they say you get a last meal, that is a thing,
Mm.
right? And his last meal was 2 olives and a bottle of water, flavored water. Strangest thing, even to this day, strangest thing to me, man. And and they said, hey, you're in a prison, and they said, understand that he can say whatever he want to say
At that
because
time.
he's laying down.
Yeah.
There's IVs going through, and
No
there's
threat
a
to
mic
you.
right here.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
threat.
no threat, but he
Yeah.
can say what he want to say.
Right.
So just be prepared. He says sometimes they profess their innocence, sometimes they curse the family members out, right?
Mhm.
So I'm ready.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm ready now. You know what I mean? I'm thinking he gonna curse us out, and that. So I'm ready. That dude looked at me, bloodshot eyes, and we locked eyes, man.
Yeah.
And he said his words, and you'll read it. I hope you find peace in my death.
Mm.
And he apologized to me.
What?
Let me tell you, bro. I closed my eyes and I asked God. I said, forgive him, because that's not the guy. That's not the guy that murdered my father. Because knowing he could have said anything he wanted to
Right.
say.
Right. Right.
And it's
right,
not
right.
like if he said something positive, I could have got him off that table.
Yeah.
He was gonna die anyway.
He gonna die
Yes,
anyway.
Yes, yes, sir.
And
Yeah.
he said that, bro, and I closed my eyes and I said, God, please forgive him, for that's not the guy that murdered my dad.
Yeah,
Mm.
he
You
didn't.
know, so
All
that's
those
big.
years, he's turned into a different man.
He was different. And the way he got caught, my dad had got me an account because I was in the Navy, going to the Navy. He had got me an account. He said, son, when you get your check, I'm going to start you off with a few $100s, and you need to put like 50 or so in there.
Yeah.
So the way he got caught, he was in my house. He murdered my father. He stayed in the house for a day and a half. Matter of fact, the next morning, my dad's friend came and knocked on the door to, I guess my dad and the guy was going somewhere, and he said, and the guy was still in the house.
Yeah.
He said he was me. He said, my dad's not here. This Junior, they call me Junior.
Mhm.
He said, it's Junior, my dad's not here. So you're going to have to leave. He said, but can I come in? He said, no, I can't. You can't come in. The guy testified to that.
Yeah.
So he stayed in that house. He took my checkbook. He went to the bank, cashed a check for like $300.
Mm-hmm.
Went and smoked it.
Mm.
Right? It was a drug thing. He was dope fiend, that kind of thing. You from Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Went and smoked it. Went back to the bank with another check, probably about, I want to say, an hour and a half later. Thank God the lady got suspicious, kept his license. He pulled off, police pulled, and that's how he got him.
Got him.
Yeah.
And this was,
Wow.
your dad taught you these things before you came in the Navy.
Yes,
right?
yes. That's why I'm successful right now.
Mm.
I'm successful because of my father. My father was the hardest working man, and I know you guys can attest to it.
Yeah.
My father was the hardest working man I ever saw. He instilled that work ethic in me,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I'm here right now. And I didn't try to get here. I just did what he taught me.
Okay.
I just did what was natural. You know what I mean? When it was time to service the engines on them F-18s, guess what? Your boy was out there waiting with a Palm 6. You know, so that's the reason that I kind of joined. He was proud of me from doing that. After he passed away, I knew it was something I had to do.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's
Right.
pretty deep right there.
Yeah.
That's very, very deep, and I'm sure throughout your years of service, that was something that you just carried with you and motivated you and helped drive you to reach the pinnacle and where you at right now.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I still get it. I'm better now because I didn't talk about it like the first 15 years. The only reason I talked about it, I told my skipper because I was getting media attention. It was a big thing.
Oh wow.
Man. Yeah. This guy had celebrities protesting the death penalty. You know, yeah, yeah. When we pulled up to his the execution, we saw, you know, signs of
Protesters out
people.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the newspaper, what you're gonna read when you Google my name, I don't know how they found me, Doc, but they found me. I was the MMCO in HSC 26, and they called me and they interviewed me, and you'll read kind of what I said in there. Yeah, man. So it was tough, man. It was a tough journey. My journey was tough, man. Man, I can't tell you how many times I cried in the rack, man. Just you know, and here's the thing though, I never thought about killing myself, man.
Yeah.
You know, that resilience my pop gave me, man. I never thought about doing harm to myself. Even all the things that I went through on that ship, I never thought about it. So,
Yeah, that's deep, man.
Yeah. So
That's deep. It's a different time back then. You know, you dealt with it, pushed through it, and made the best of it. You know, we see the results today. You know, so going back to like, you know, going through A school, went to boot camp, A school. Militant was a blast. You know,
Yes,
back in
sir.
that day. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Militant was fun back in the day.
Yes, sir.
It was a big thing. I remember this like, oh, I'm going to see the Elvis Presley Museum. Like, you know, like something I never thought about. But then Memphis had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s. I had fun there. So then you leave there, go to Japan, your first command.
Yeah.
So coming from Houston to Japan, it's like that was a culture shock.
Yeah.
That's a culture shock.
Definitely. Definitely.
No chop
You
the
know,
screw.
from yeah, they ain't chopping and screwing out there.
It sounds like they're chopping and screwing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're really not. They speaking their language.
Right,
But yeah,
right.
yeah.
So how was that like, you know, your first command? And you're an F-18 guy, line shack, plane captain, all of that.
So you came in rated, undesignated?
No, I was rated AD.
AD.
Went to
AD,
Militant,
gotcha.
you got
Yeah,
the
military,
AD.
yeah. But in squadron, like when you get there, I don't care if you AD or whatever rate, you gotta go to the line shack. You gotta pay your dues.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know, yeah, you gotta pay your dues. But how was it, man? Just like being in Japan in that environment, doing something different. You know,
Airman.
you didn't
status.
think that. I mean, you probably traveled as a kid, but you went out the country. You 19. I'm right. 19. What? 19 years old.
Yeah.
19. Yeah, man. Japan. I would tell you initially. Tell you a quick story, and it always go back to my dad. Right. First of all, I think God had a plan for me to go to Japan. Because if he didn't send me to the Japan, I'd probably be out of the Navy today. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Here for it.
Because my mom, my mother, and my baby brother, I love them so much, man, and I felt like I was cheating them because they still stayed in that house.
Yeah.
And I escaped it.
You know, not to cut you off, but
that's deep. Yeah.
You know, survivor's guilt.
That's what. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was, man. But I just felt like I cheated them. I felt like my dad gave me all the tools to be successful. So whatever I would have did in life, I'd have been successful, right? But if I'd have been stationed in the States, I'd have been home every weekend. And if I got back to the base, I'd have got back on Monday morning. If I didn't, oh well. I had more priorities in my mind to be at home with my mom, you know.
Because you couldn't run back.
I couldn't run back home.
You know?
So I think it was God that put me over there, and that's what it was. And I connected with all these guys, JP, Hatch, you know, all these fellas that I connected with, Eddie. Those guys didn't know it. They didn't know my story, and they didn't know what they did for me.
Yeah.
You know, Pat, all these guys, Patterson, you know, all these guys I got together. It's almost like God assembled all these guys there to pull me out of that rut. Because I couldn't take my mind off it, bro.
Yeah.
I was hurting.
Yeah.
I was hurting so bad, man. I used to walk around the base. I tell this story, man. I used to walk around the base. It was Yokosuka. Because when I first got there, they sent you to Yokosuka, and you're waiting to go to the Independence. That was the ship, right?
Okay. So you were in like a TPU.
I was in TPU.
Waiting to go to the ship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I got there, it was rainy season.
Okay.
Right? And I walked around that whole base in the rain, no umbrella. and I did that because I was crying.
Mm.
I was crying. I didn't want nobody to know. So
Mhm.
when I went back to the barracks and my eyes were red and I was, they
I
get
think
it
it's just the weather.
they just think it's just the weather. But I purposely waited to cry till it was raining till I went out and
Yeah.
cried. And that's why I'm the type of leader I am today because here's the deal, fellas. Nobody stopped and asked me.
What was wrong?
You did?
Yeah, you did.
Nobody stopped and asked me,
Yeah.
hey man, what's up, young brother? What's going on with you? Nobody at first class's chiefs, they passed me and I know they saw me. And here's the irony to this story, right? Although I didn't want no one to know about it, if someone would have stopped me and asked me, I'd have told them. I'd have told them. But that's why I am like I am today, a lot
very like passionate about sailors.
Taking care of sailors, bro.
Yeah.
People, I got a lot of people. My Master Chief Chance, man. You know Chance.
Chance, yeah.
Good
Chance
dude, man. That's my man.
Hey, yo, shout out.
Yeah.
Iolius.
Yeah, he's good shit, man.
Yeah.
He keeps, he keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah, Iolius.
Yeah, he can't help it, man. He can't help it.
Yeah.
But he would tell me I'm a tree hugger and I'm soft. But I'm gonna tell you, you gotta walk my shoes, man.
Yeah. All right, so we talk about swingers, the Japanese culture, but you coming from Texas, they got a lot of different styles. Philly, they got different styles. Alabama, they got different styles. Georgia, Florida, Cali, Chicago, you name it. But y'all on the map for something like different. And I'm introduced to it because I'm like, just through videos, coming up as a kid, like swingers. I'm like, well, what type of rims they got poking out like that? What's that about?
Yeah.
What's that about? I mean, you grew up, you seen it.
Well, I would tell you, my baby brother was here, Lamarcus, bro. If my baby brother was there, he can tell you all about it. He's in it, right? But it's just a Houston culture. Like that's what that's what it is. Like every scene in every city have their own dynamic of how they show or put their culture on display.
Yeah,
we do that.
That's true.
By chopped and screwed.
Chopped and screwed.
Oh
yeah, we know it.
It's slow. You can take any song.
I struggle with that though.
You slow it down.
I struggle with that.
I don't.
You
don't. It's a big Southern thing, chopped and screwed. But I struggle with that because I'm like, yo, this is like really slow. It's really slow. But I understand the reason why it's slow.
Yeah. But hey, don't think that them boys from Houston slow.
No, I'm not saying that.
I know you're not.
No,
I know you're not. But
no disrespect on that. No.
You hear chopped and screwed. They think, okay, they're from the South because typically, historically, we've been thought of as being slow. Your bubble gump.
That's true.
Thing.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Southern slow.
Yeah. A Southern swag. You know what I mean? Them cats up north. They quick. They fast with it. They do three quart Molly.
3 card Molly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't do that. Now, Tops. There you go.
Hey, listen. I'm from the Gump. I'm from Alabama. I don't know how me and Ty from Philly. But we make it work. But I get what you're saying. Ty, he's halfway a slick talker. You know what I'm saying?
He talk too fast sometimes.
Hey, man, that's just born and bred, man. That's born and bred. But the majority of my military friends are from the South. Majority. Easily probably like over 80%.
Wow.
They from the South. My very first friend that I met in the Navy from Mobile, Alabama. Yeah. Another cat before him, my bad, in boot camp was from Arkansas.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So it's crazy, I just connected with Southern cats. It's like, y'all, because in the city, you grow up fast. Life is fast. I said, we got our own style. We was BBS rims and stuff like that. But we had our own style when we did our own thing, but we all come from the same environment. We can all relate. So I can relate to these cats when they was telling me they stories, coming. I'm like, I'm learning. You just learning people.
Yeah.
You got a crew that you run with since your first command.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people do it, but a lot of people don't. Still have that connection from that person that you met from your first command.
Now, speaking of commands and culture and everything like that, right? So, okay, we discussed it. Your first command. you was over in Japan.
Mhm.
By the grace of God, that was the best thing that happened. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
got you out of the environment. You came back. You know, I think it was Jacksonville,
Yep, went to
and
106 in Jackson.
Yeah.
Cecil Phil.
Jax.
and
Cecil Phil, yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
went back to
Mhm.
Japan.
Mhm.
So you know that was a choice. The first time the Navy said this
Yes,
way you
sir.
going.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So the
Yes, sir.
second time
Mhm.
you had something to do with that. So
Mhm.
so why back to Japan?
Yeah, I tell you, Japan did something for me, man.
Okay.
Mm.
It gave me that escape from the pain that I was experiencing.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
so that's one of the reasons why I went back. The other reason is like you get paid, bro.
Hey,
Japan pay you, man.
They get money
I
over
like
there.
it.
No,
I
no,
like
Hey, them
it.
boys will get money over
Them
there.
boys get
Hey,
money,
listen.
man.
Oh, at ease, we just keep it like it is.
Yeah, keep it like,
you
hey,
get paid.
they was getting
Yeah.
money over there.
Mhm. Cola was something else over there, man.
Yeah.
You go over there, and I'm not saying we got paid a lot of money because we still don't.
Trust me. I
It
get,
was
I get you.
it was
I get you.
enough to do what you had to do, and you had leftovers.
The E4, the E4, E5 in Jax,
Mhm.
and the E4, E5 in Japan made exponentially a different amount.
Oh
of money,
yeah.
Gotcha.
so
Oh yeah.
that was another reason I went. I've always been a saver,
Uh-huh.
try to manage money. So that was
Gotcha.
another reason why I went back over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another question I have
Yes,
for
sir.
you, right? Because such as Ty and myself, we've been doing this for a long time, and all of us who do this for a substantial period of time, it comes a point in our career where the first couple of years, no one kind of takes it serious,
Yeah.
right? To those that do, hats off to them. I congratulate them. But what year was it? What pay grade was it
Yes.
when it was just like, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm taking this serious. Navy gonna have to kick me out. I'm gonna be successful. Like when was that? When was that moment?
I tell you when I married my wife. Like
Wow.
when I married her, like I knew that I was the breadwinner. I knew that I had to, her parents and her, they put their trust in me to take care of them.
Real
Right.
responsibility.
Straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I could have ate sardines and
Yeah.
and some Vienna sausage crackers. You know what
Right.
I'm talking about.
Right.
We've been there. Yeah,
You
yes,
know,
sir.
I couldn't allow them to do that.
Right.
So that was the motivation for me to ensure that I was successful, to ensure that I did the right things. Even
Gotcha.
today I always speak about the right things, and I always try to do the right things. Like I told you, you can count on the number of times I went out in a club in Japan. I just felt it was important for me to be at home with my family and avoid the DUI stuff because I probably would have got one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was it. My wife and my son, and then eventually my daughter, Shauna. Though they helped me, and they didn't know it, but I knew what I had to do.
Yeah.
That's why.
What pay grade was that? What year?
Here's the thing. I was a third class, right?
Oh wow.
I was a third class. She helped me study for second class, right?
Nice.
That's
I got to Japan as a third class. I left there taking the test for chief. Like that's just in 3 years, bro. Because that was the first time that you get an EP, you could take the test
Test
early.
early.
That was the first time. And full disclosure, I took the test in Cecil Field in September, transferred, and the results came out in November, and that's when I picked up second. But I got there, I was a third class, and I left there. I was taking the test for chief, man. So, and I was just waiting on the results, But it's my family, man. Like I am family all day long, And I just always wanted to take care of my wife, my kids, and that's just it.
So it started out as your father and kind of him motivating you. Then
that's why I was
you continued, because of your family and just being a man and just bless you, being a man and just taking care of the family and everything.
I tell you, my father, man, bless you,
Bless
man.
you.
I tell you, my father was a guy, and now he didn't always do the right things, Back in the day, our fathers, they did their thing, right? They did men stuff. Let me tell you about my pop. He took care of me, and I'll tell you a quick story, right? Me and my brother, he had twin beds, little small room, twin beds, and there was a little nightstand in between the beds. And I would tell you, every time he left to go to work the next morning, I would see him come and put money. It was about $2 at the time.
Mm.
You can get some chips and some and a soda, a couple
$2
sodas.
was a lot of
that
money
kind of-
back
yeah,
then.
it was a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
money.
yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
he put $2.50, maybe $3, real gently. As I got older,
Mm-hmm.
I realized when he didn't have the money
Mm.
because
Mm.
it wouldn't be dollar bills.
Mm.
It'd be an array of change. It'd be quarters, nickels, dimes, and pennies.
Gosh.
Wow.
And as I got older, that's when I realized that my dad didn't have the money, but he still tried to ensure that we were well taken care of, man.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of get that from, man. I get that from my pop. I'm dedicating my retirement to my dad.
That's what's up.
I drove his truck to go get because he was a painter, and I
Okay.
would work with him in the summers.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove his truck to go and take the test.
Mm-hmm.
Asphalt
Asphalt.
Yeah.
test. Yes, I drove his truck to go and do that, and like he was just extremely proud of me. But that's why I get a lot of my, good and bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm a little closed minded,
Mm-hmm.
with my wife and my family a little bit. But
Mhm.
that's why I get that.
Human
from.
nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's human nature.
So,
So,
you made chief,
mhm.
right? And you're a CEO right now, obviously. So, what was it that made you, say, hey, I want to go LDO,
Yeah.
and not just stay enlisted and stay a chief?
When I tell you representation matters, like I saw
Absolutely.
this guy Foster Stringer, man. Shout out to Foster. He's in Jacksonville now, but
Mhm.
this brother was in VFA 27. I was a third class, and he had a shiny head. His head was shaved, and his brown shoes looked just super
Sharp.
sharp, man. I'm
Mhm.
telling you,
Sharp.
I want to be like that brother, man. Like when they say
Yeah.
representation matters,
Yeah.
it's a thing, bro. It
Yeah.
is an absolute thing. And I said, I want to be like him. I communicate with him that he didn't know that until like a year and a half ago. And I talked to him, I called him, and I told him, hey, you was an inspiration for me to go LDO.
Mm.
And this was as a third class when I saw him,
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, that guy, that I want to be like that guy. Because I would tell you, this wasn't the plan. This
Yeah.
was not the plan.
Yeah.
I was just doing. I was just going in, doing my 8, 9, 10 hours, whatever that is.
Right.
And then I'm at the gym playing ball,
Shoot.
and then I'm at the club later on that night. That's
Yeah.
what it was about,
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But that wasn't the plan. But when I saw that guy, coupled with having my wife and my family, that did something to me.
So,
That's
as a
what's up.
third class, you knew that, hey, I want to make chief, and eventually I want to go LDO because of what you saw in that leader.
Yeah. Well, as a third, I didn't know what LDO was.
Right.
And I saw that guy, and just through passing, I sat and talked. He was the AMO,
Okay.
and I sat and talked to Foster a little bit, and he kind of encouraged me. There was another guy,
It's early 90s.
early 90s, Clifford Collins. Shout out to Cliff Collins. He's a captain out at NETSI now in Pensacola. He's about to retire.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he was another brother that I saw, and he was an admin type.
Mhm.
And I saw these two brothers, man. I'm like, wow, like this really did something to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was already
Man,
good,
it's deep.
real quick, right? And I tell you, it was God, man. It was God on my side because I left 106. Here's the beauty of 106. I call it the house of pain, right? Right. Everybody know that 106 is the rag. You got like 60 aircraft.
So many people.
So many people.
So
so many
is
aircraft.
106 still around right
Oh
now?
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Okay,
It's
okay.
in,
So many
Again,
people.
for the listeners,
Went through
106
that
is still a thing.
command.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I got
Yeah.
there, I left Japan with the 106. I learned so much about the aircraft because a 12 plane squadron and a 60 plane squadron, you're gonna see more discrepancies, more different gripes.
Right. Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Different gripes gonna come up.
Yeah.
Fast forward, I get orders to Japan. I
Man,
check
that's
in the VFA 27. I'm the only mech with F-18 experience. Everybody else, right? And experience is a thing, right? Everybody else,
Yeah.
including the LPO, was P3s. So I get there. Now, mind you, when I was in 106, I was turn qual. I was the only turn qual instructor as a third class in a squadron of about 1,000 people.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yes, sir. I was a bad.
Listen to what
I
I'm
was
saying.
a
I'm about
bad
to
boy,
say.
man.
Okay.
The ego has to be had.
Yeah.
If you turn qual, you that dude in the squadron. Let me say that right now.
Because I'm not squadron.
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, yeah,
If you
I'm
turn
not-
qual,
I'm not
that's why Sweet's walking around with his chest poked out.
Okay.
Mm.
That's why he walking around. He was turn qual.
Mm-hmm.
And that ain't easy.
Sweets was bad.
And when you talking about, that's something that it's another certification for that.
Okay.
But if you're a ground pounder dude, it's like max you might get 3
Okay.
in the whole squadron. That's max. That's
Yeah.
tough
Yeah.
for ground pounders. It might be 2. That might be 1.
And
so.
you was 1.
I was low power, I was high power, and I was an instructor for the entire squad. I was the
wow.
only one.
Uh-huh.
But you had first classes,
See?
and I was the only
See what
one
I'm trying
in
to
a squadron
Yeah.
with over 1,000 people in there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So when I got to Japan,
uh-huh.
my quals followed me. I remember my
Uh-huh.
chief, senior chief DeSalle, the chief DeSalle at the time. That motherfucker, he looked at my training jacket. He said, "God damn!" And I knew I had him then.
Yeah.
Because nobody else had that stuff. I got my quals immediately back. I'm gonna tell you something. I was able to troubleshoot something. I'll never forget, bro. I was sitting like eating lunch, and I just heard them talking. And when they go engine crank right, it starts the left engine. When they go engine crank left, it started the right engine.
What?
I'm just eating, right? Hey, get the AEs to swap the wires on the box. No, I that's all. I just heard that. They went out there and swapped the wires on the box. Engine crank right engine start. Engine crank left engine start. That motherfuckers came, man. You need to be. I said, okay, I got you. But I learned all that in 106. And that's what put me
the rag.
I learned it at the rag.
Yeah.
So at 27, VFA 27, that's when I got the early EP. That's how I shot up so quick.
So, but what
Wow.
made you? What drove you? What inspired you to do all that? You know, because a lot of people see where we are in our careers,
Yeah.
and they don't see what it took to get there, the journey, right? You know, I'm fascinated with the journey. You know, that's kind of what we talk about here at Ease. You know, the journey, how we at. You know, right now it's easy to look at where we at right now, and you know, but we all got here by some type of journey. So, and I'm listening to your journey, and it's just like, what drove you to want to do and be better and get the next thing?
Yeah. So different stages. First stage, my father.
Right.
Talk about him all the time. It all goes back to him. You know, first off, it was his work ethic that he instilled in me. Like, my pop didn't allow no sleeping in. Wasn't no sleeping in. You know, he didn't like when you walked around with your shoes untied or walking on the back of your shoes. Bro, he didn't play that stuff. So that work ethic was instilled in me from my father.
Yeah.
You know, my mother worked a lot too. So I understood what right looked like.
Yeah.
Second piece was my wife and my children. Like, when I went back to Japan, that was the real motivator. It's like, okay, I knew that I had to succeed. And quiet as kept, I was more ecstatic and excited when I made second class than when I made chief.
Really?
Yes, sir.
You
Okay.
at the second class level in a squadron, you somebody with quals.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, you somebody.
Again,
It's crazy how the Navy works, man. Like, seriously, I know where you at. Like, if you can have the same quals as a second class, you can be a third class. You somebody. I'm trying to tell you, you somebody. And then when you make second class and you like, oh, okay, I see the competition. Oh yeah, I got them.
And back then, when we was coming up, you can retire as a second class.
You can retire 20
I
years
remember
in the
that.
game.
You remember that?
I remember that.
20 years in the game.
So
you looking like you about to retire in second class.
Exactly. So I was good. I mean,
You about to retire? This too easy.
This is it. So
this is easy.
I was excited about that because I knew I had punched my ticket. And the thing with second class is that spot where you don't really have to go to maintenance meeting, but you don't have to go to flight deck scrubbex either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can
Like,
pick and choose.
You can pick you're a sweet spot.
Yeah.
You're in that sweet spot. The first class went to
especially
maintenance
if you
meeting.
got your stuff.
Oh yeah.
They can't touch you.
Okay.
They can't touch you.
So
Because your first class cheering for you, like, no, I got one right here. I
I
got one.
got you. So, all right, Japan,
Yep.
Jacks,
Yep.
back to Japan.
Yes, sir.
You know, as a second class, you realize you want to make chief. I mean, excuse me, you want to go LDO, you know, inspiration and everything like that. So, your LDO, right? As a chief, how did being a chief and going through the season help you as an LDO?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Lindsay. Mike Lindsay was my he was
Oh,
my
yeah.
mentor as a chief. You know Mike Lindsay?
Mhm, mhm.
Mike Lindsay was
Big
my
Mike.
Big Mike.
Yeah, Big
He
Mike.
was my mentor as a first class. And I got to tell you, I was on the chief for 2 years, right? Because I made chief 2003, picked up LDO in 2005. But I would tell you that guy, Mike Lindsay, is the one that told me, "Hey man, you got the credentials to move forward." And I'll tell you this,
Wow.
I don't tell people this story. I especially don't tell my sailors this
Mm.
because I don't want them to think this is what you have to be successful. But bro, I had it all. Like I was sailor of the year for the command, sailor of the year for the CAG,
Speak on it.
sailor of the year for the entire battle group. And then they flew me and my wife to San Diego to compete to be sailor of the year for the Navy. I was one step of getting captain chief, right?
What this? So you made chief in
2003.
Okay.
We made it
Okay.
together.
We made it together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We made it together. This was February 2003 as they flew me and Chanel. She was pregnant with my daughter, Renaya, and they flew us to San Diego for a week to compete Sailor of the Year for the Navy, Seaside. And after I got all that in my record, man, it was, I mean, I don't mean to brag about it, but it was no surprise that I picked up
Nah.
chief. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro. You talking to board members.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we know.
yeah.
Two sides.
Yeah, we
Okay,
know that.
okay.
Yeah.
That's one of them records you don't even talk like.
Yeah. Press 100.
Yeah, like we ain't got to talk about.
It
Man, if
was-
I get a record like that in my hands,
Like JP
Oh, I'm
always
woo-woo.
he always
Oh, yeah.
had, like that
Yeah.
guy JP probably one of my he don't know it, but he has mentored me too.
yeah.
Right, that guy encouraged
Yeah.
me to go to the boards to help your sailors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that right there, he's
Okay.
AZCM. He retired now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's the one said, hey, he encouraged, and he get pissed off when other master chiefs don't go to
Don't
the
go.
board
That's
too.
the thing, man.
That's how you help your sailor. You get the answers
Absolutely.
to the test
Right.
at the board.
I look at it as, man, you choosing your relief.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
And you know
choosing
what
my
they're looking
relief.
for.
Yeah.
Hey, this man right here,
Yeah.
and shouts out to Kimmy Frazier. That's another one. But you know, it's a few Master Chiefs that made me the Master Chief who I am. You know, and
Yeah.
the gentleman right over here and Kimmy Frazier, man. You know, you talking to multiple board members, so you know,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
hey.
it's something that go faithfully and do. We call it God's work, man.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah,
Hey,
God's work,
hey,
man.
before I let you continue, I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
have to say,
please.
you know, when I made Master Chief, he was there and he said, "You're a Master Chief, but you ain't a real Master Chief till you sit aboard."
Yeah,
I said, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay."
yeah. Like you ain't really. Yeah, everybody the same. They run equal ground. They go to the selection board.
Yeah.
That's where them real ranking boards happen at.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
that's when them real ranking boards
Yes,
happen
sir.
at
Yeah.
because it ain't easy.
Yeah,
You know, you talking about that number, but then you talk about, you know, they select LDOs, they select people to certain pay grades.
yes, sir.
That's what
And,
you
and
selecting your relief.
as a CO, as an LDO, again, it's just like I commend you for even going to be a part of that process because you know it's CMCs out there who hasn't experienced that, and to me, my personal opinion is that to be a CMC that should be a line item, a requirement. I don't care if they just sit in the back and just watch and just listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
part of
Because
like a
at the end of the
P2S.
day, it's just like they're the senior enlisted leader at that command, and that is the thing, you know. Like as a
It's talking about
CO,
promotion. At
you
the end of
know,
the day, it's about promotion.
that's assume that as a CEO who never had that experience, you know, and they looking at that, you know, senior enlisted leader to guide them to make the right decision.
Right.
So for you as an officer, as an LDO, to go through that process again, commend you because you don't got to do it.
Yeah. And I got to tell you this, you know, shout out to Chance. Edson, AOCM,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, he go.
Like there he go.
Oh,
He
I
go.
know.
And I'll tell you about my master chief. I demand a lot from him because in my opinion, master chief should know everything.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
There's no such animal, but
Well,
they're all known.
yeah.
That's why you a master first.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I depend on my master chief to know it all.
And see, when I hear an officer say that, that drives me, right? It really do, you know. It puts me in a place where it's just like I have to keep them thinking that, you know.
Yeah.
When I hear a officer say, "Well, I just thought you know."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I can't let them down.
Yeah.
I can't let them down.
Yeah.
They can't
Well,
come
they've been
to
trained
me
by
and
the
I
right
not
people.
have an officer.
Right.
They've been trained and worked with.
They can't
right
come to
people.
me and I not have an answer for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They without them even realizing. Oh, trust me. I
Yeah.
don't care what you ask me. I'm gonna always. If I don't know, I'm finna go find
You
it
gonna
because
find
it's just like I cannot let them down. Once I know that's what they
Mhm.
think.
Yeah.
Oh, Master Chief's supposed
And
to
they're
know
the ones that they
everything.
really rely on.
I do as a
They
CEO.
really rely
I would
on.
tell you, I don't do nothing without. Hey, let's talk to Master Chief. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what Master
Yeah.
Chief got to say about it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
brother, he's the all-knowing, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care. He is the all-knowing. We
Yeah.
don't change uniforms without the blessing of a Master Chief. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
Oh, that's deep there.
Absolutely.
So you LD on it, doing your thing out there. You know, squadron here, shore command there, squadron there. Like, honestly, what was that feeling to know that, wow, I achieved this next level? You know, because I'm going back to you because I'm speaking on the fact, like, yo, like
From E1.
we came up together, like, and I'm watching this cat, I'm like, damn, this dude really making some moves.
Yeah.
Like, he making some moves.
Yeah.
With a smile on his face. I mean, we go through stuff, no matter what. But he still got a smile on his face, like, yeah, life is good.
Yeah.
Life is good. So, like, what's the drive? Like, what's the motivation? Like, you know, like, you're retiring soon. You still got legs, though.
I do.
So, because right now you at how many?
I'm at 33 years right now. I would tell you that
You can go up to.
So I can go to 35, but I will tell you that the chances of me, nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah,
So I want to put that out.
Yeah,
but the chance of me picking up 06 is like very, very, very good.
Okay.
After being a successful CO,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't get on Navy Times. That's the biggest thing.
It's the biggest
You know,
thing.
Navy Crimes, you're good.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I'll tell you, if your question is why am I retiring, I'm assuming that's the question. Right? So here's the thing: there's not enough time to talk to tell you, and there's not one single thing that's making me retire. There's a multitude of things that's making me retire. You know, me and my wife sat and talked, and I'll tell you, that woman, the woman I got, man, is loyal to a fault. What I like to say,
Right.
She's like, babe, whatever you want to do, I got you. Okay, God damn it.
Shout out to Jazz Co.
Yeah,
They know what I'm talking about, but go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I met my wife, Jazz.
Yeah,
So,
Jazz Co. Jack Florida.
Shout out to Chanel. But I will tell you that, you know, she's just whatever you want to do, I got you. So I was talking to this cat, and I was telling him, I said, man, I wish that my wife would be like, hey, babe, we're done. You know, I'm tired of moving, I'm tired of traveling. Or I wish that I was at a terminal pay grade. You know, me and Pat talked about this, Pat Batiste. You know, I wish we was ever
One of my guys.
Shout out to Pat, right?
My geyser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I was at a terminal pay grade. Or I wish they was like, wanted to send me to a carrier in Ukraine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Orders that I didn't want. The cat looked at me and he told me, he said, you want to get out. I said, how you know that?
What?
He said, you're looking for reasons to retire. That hit me.
And this is detail.
No, this wasn't a detail. This cat name is Tyrone Hewitt. Okay. Tyrone works at Fleet and Family Service Center. When I was CAG 3, he was in VFA 105.
Okay.
And I was telling him all this. He said, you want to get out. I said, how do you know that? He said, because you're looking for reasons to get out. And the Navy's not giving it to you, right? Your wife's not giving it to you. The Navy's not making a decision for you. So you're looking for reasons to retire.
Yeah.
And that kind of resonated with me a little bit. So it was that. 33 years, I almost felt like I was wearing out my welcome just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm healthy.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. I'm able to go out and do some things. And in my building, when you go to the building, there's COs on the wall. And there's 3 of them on the wall that's not healthy. They made captain, but they're not healthy. One of the guys came in. He was walking with a cane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. It was tough to see. So I'm healthy. I'm able to do something different. I'm able to go out and get more employment. The money thing isn't isn't in the shy way.
Yeah.
With 2, I had a guy, Captain Washburn, Brett Washburn. He told me that every year you stay after 20, you're losing money. That resonated with me too.
Okay.
I thought about that. Out of all my partners, to include you, I'm the last one. I'm the last one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That kind of
That's real talk.
Yeah, that kind of resonated with me too. So there's no one thing that made me. And what made it tough is I told the detailer, Mike Feldhughes, detailer, I said, Mike, the only reason I'll stay is if I can get you a job as a detailer. Knowing I wasn't going to line up because he had just got there.
Right.
2 weeks later, I got a call, Andy, guess what lined up? I said, God damn. And then my boss, shout out to Jeffrey Brown, Captain Brown, he said, Andy, I'm not going to sign it for another 2 weeks. Call me back in 2 weeks. He encouraged me to stay. The community manager, CW5 Cowan, he called me. We talked about staying, and I thought about it. I even looked at houses in Millington because if I would have stayed in, I'd have had to move to Millington, which would have been in October, a month ago. And then if I'd have picked up Major Command, if I didn't opt out, which I probably wouldn't opt out, if I pick it up, I'm going to take it. Major Command is either Pensacola or Corpus Christi. I'd have had to move again.
Yeah.
Right? And then if Chanel and I did not want to retire there, we'd have had to move again. So that'd have been 3 moves. Okay.
Yeah.
So that weighed in a little bit.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
At your age now, that's a lot.
I'm 51, bro.
That's a lot.
A lot of little things that kind of played into that a little bit. And I tell you, bro, I prayed about it, man. I prayed about it. I'm not trying to preach to nobody, but I'll tell you, I'm a believer, man. I prayed about it. I talked to my wife. I talked to mentors, multiple people about it, and this decision came up.
Right.
Hey, that's a long time, man.
Yeah, 33 years, bro.
That's a long time, man. You watch yourself grow from like a little jit, like, to the man you are today.
Yeah.
Hey, man, tell us that you lead that wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
Check this out. this is just 3 days. What was it? What's today? Today's Wednesday. This was Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at work. I'm in my office. One of the young sailors come in. We call them AIs. They're awaiting instruction. Okay. So the class haven't started yet.
Right.
They come in and take the trash out, and I think I'm rocking some Tupac, right?
Right.
I said, young fella, you know who this is?
They don't know.
I'm like, this Tupac. I said, do you know who this is? This cat looked at me. He said, my granddad did. Hey man, get out! Get the hell out! He said the granddad did. Not even his dad. So that's kind of one of the things that, kind of helped me. Okay, I know it's time.
Yeah.
I know it's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said his granddad knows Tupac.
That's tough, man. I'm gonna tell you, that's tough because you got to think when you came in, it was senior people like that. Like, man, times are changing.
Yeah.
But I know one thing we did differently. Like, our work ethic was different. It matched theirs coming up. We wasn't where we at today, So it's like you had to change the standards. You giving recommendations for LDO and warrant officer. But you gotta really recognize and say like, oh wow, it's a different time. So that's why he or she is moving that way. Yeah. Because the time has changed. It's not the same as when you was getting that recommendation from those guys. They already knew like, oh, he a shoo-in because we know him. He a mech in the F-18 squadron. CAG, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
He that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Today is different.
Mm-hmm.
And you still being in, like, how do you deal with that? How do you judge that? To say, like, they ain't gonna be just like me.
Mm.
They ain't gonna be like me, but I gotta really give them all 10s.
Yeah. I tell you, like with that,
Yeah.
looking at that, you just kind of, LDO and CWO is different. Like for LDO, CWO, like Chiefs is a proven commodity, right? They're proven. That work is proven.
Mm-hmm.
So we select LDOs. I'm sorry, we select CWOs based on what they've done.
Okay.
Okay. We select LDOs based on what they're going to do because the sample size is too small. Like, because they've only been in 8 years.
See, you giving too many gems.
Yeah,
Okay.
We need to come back another time.
Okay.
We need you, you know.
So that's how they.
That's how we select, because it's 8 years. You have to be, you're first class. Imagine, like, as a first class 8 years, you've only been to maybe you in your second command. Because your first year and a half is boot camp, it's A school, it's C school, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm tracking.
You know what I mean?
I'm tracking what you see. Again, you're speaking to multiple board members.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
I'm picking up
makes sense.
immediately. Proven and potential.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. Proven. Your Chiefs, your Chiefs are proven. They have a proven track record.
CWO, proven.
CWO, proven track record.
LDO,
Your LDOs,
potential.
with what we can, we have a small sample size that we can look at, and then we just have to take that.
Everybody don't make 06 though.
Huh?
Everybody don't make 06.
Everybody don't make 06. You're right. Everybody does not make 06.
That's hard.
It's tough.
In that community, that might be a tougher selection than make a match sheet.
06 is. You know, Sean Rumbley. We don't have a few. Sean Rumbley. We got Ronnie Harper, and I know Gary Shelley, and we got Mike Felhuse. Only a few aviation individuals that
That's
picked it up.
06.
Real good guys. Shout out to those guys, mentors of mine. But there's very few people.
That's hard,
I
man.
had a tour in Nat Center, Pensacola, and there was some captains out there, LDO type.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. One guy I set the board with, and when he was leaving the board, in about a month or so, he was checking in at CNATU Pensacola, CO. Really, really, really cool dude. Like, he was an AG, matter of fact. He was a weather dude. But sharp cat. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's big, man. Like, you selecting your relief because your name rings bells.
Yeah. And that's why I don't put
You know what I'm
my name
saying?
on anybody.
Like, you gotta just think
crazy.
about that. Like, your name rings bells, like, in that community. Like, you have a say-so.
Yeah.
Like, you have a strong say-so on, not saying, well, you may not be ready.
Yeah. I would tell you, in the beginning, it was hard for me to tell a sailor that. Now, the first thing I do, and I'm open doors to all sailors, man. I'm going to tell you, they come in and talk to me, and my passion is helping them guys, man. I'll help anybody. Regardless of what I'm doing, I'll bring them in, and they'll bring me their package. Sir, can you look at my package? Okay. Before I open it, I need you to be ready for the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I need you to be ready. Be ready for the truth. Whether good or bad, I need to be ready. Because there's a difference between being qualified and being competitive.
Oh, wow.
90% of our sailors are competitive. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
90% are qualified.
Qualified.
All you have to do is know NJPs. You got to be in a certain time, and that's it. For the most, and you got to have all
Basic.
your teeth. You got to have all your teeth. You know?
Basic. On the enlisted side, we say best and fully qualified. You got those that are fully qualified. You got those that are best of the fully qualified.
Yeah.
So I'm tracking.
I'm
tracking.
There's a difference.
Same for the people in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. They don't understand that. They think, well, I'm qualified. Yeah, so that person next to you. Yeah, that person right there.
See, we need to do a show on just that alone, and we gotta get you back because
I'm here, bro. I'm here all day.
Cause see, they got to know that, like they had the Facebook groups with the young first classes. Oh, the Chiefs, they trying to make the next, pay grade or officer or whatever like that. They got to understand the process.
They do.
And here's the thing, bro.
It's a process.
It's absolutely a process.
It's a process.
You cannot get yourself an EP and think you're ready. Like this.
But that's the mindset.
that's
I was
the
there
mindset.
before.
Yeah.
I was there.
That's the mindset.
I was there first class.
That is the mindset.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there, but it's more to it.
There's more to it. than that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's more to
It's
it.
sustained. You got to sustain. I call it like an aircraft, right? You cannot get on. You would not get on an aircraft that go up and go straight down.
No.
The aircraft has to sustain flight.
Oh yeah.
You dig?
Yeah.
Same way with a career.
See, hey man, we constantly learning.
Yeah.
I'm putting that in the toolbox because somebody, a sailor of mine, gonna hear that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
So these tools that you possess now,
Yeah.
if you grew, third class, chief,
LDO.
AMO, like those tools that you developed and brought along to bring you where you at today, to make the decisions that you can make to affect someone's career. You know, who was that like? And you have a lot of them, because we got a circle of like mentors that we talk to.
Yeah.
We you know, we call and they're gonna give us the real. You know, sometimes we may not like it,
Yeah.
but sometimes we receive it like, oh, I hear what he or she is saying, and I know where they're going, so I know what I got to do.
Yes, sir.
You making the decision right now to
Yep.
retire early.
Yep.
Who's 1, 2, or 3? It could be
Mentor.
one or whatever. People that you really like. I gotta call him or her right now.
I will run it down to you, right? Eddie Thomas, that guy, he was a chief, AZC. I call that guy right today, man.
Yeah.
Even when I have captain's mask, hey Ed, I
Wow.
do, man. And this guy is money, man. This is a guy you need to interview. But I call him and I say, Ed, you know, I'm struggling with this. What do you think? And this guy helped me out.
Yeah.
JP, my man.
Yeah.
I call this guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to JP.
Yeah.
Shout out to JP.
Jerome
Like,
Polk. What up, baby?
Hey, Jerome Polk, like, and
Yeah.
and he's a real one.
Oh, my
So,
God.
JP asked me, "Hey, what we talking about?
What we
talking
talking
about?
That's his line.
That's his line.
That's his line.
He want to know what we talking about.
That's his line.
But I love that brother. That's
Yeah,
my man.
that's his line.
Mike Lindsay.
Yeah,
I call
Big Mike.
Big Mike
Big
all
Mike,
the time, man. I
Yeah.
call him and hey, Mike, what you know? I tell him my story, man. He laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, but then hey man, you probably need to look at it like this and this
Yeah.
and this.
Yeah.
And then
Hold on, I don't want to cut you off, but Big
Yeah.
Mike, right? I could talk to it about JP all day. But Big Mike, I'm a young chief. Just made chief. This 2004 or 5. AZ Mass Chief, I forgot his name. Forgive me. But he introduced me to Big Mike. And Big Mike used to have fight parties
yes, at his house.
at his house.
Yeah.
Bruh, you got to get your mind right before you walk up out of there. It's a party at Big Mike.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and you met some real people there.
And that was
Some real people at
you're
Big
right,
Mike
you're
house,
right.
man.
That was his.
Some real people.
That was his.
Real people.
That was the objective.
Yeah.
Is to get good brothers
And
together.
he's at fight parties. And he's like, hey, man, you come. You know, that cat still ride motorcycles today. We used to ride together.
Yeah.
But he,
You still ride?
nah, boy, my knees bad. Don't do that. But yeah, man, so I'm sorry to come. Yeah, but like Big Mike, like he one of them dudes,
Yeah,
man.
but I'll tell you, but real quick, Big Mike, man, he was in 27 with me. He's one of the guys that helped catapult my career. I had just picked up first class, and he told me the story. He like they had a chiefs meeting, and I knew they was looking for someone to run the line. Line
Yeah.
division is the junior division.
Yeah.
So,
That's
they wanna know-
you're gonna promote out of the line
You
division.
gonna promote out of the line.
No matter what grade you are, you're gonna promote out of the line division.
So they had the chiefs
Yeah.
meeting,
Yeah.
and I can hear you have. Here's the thing, like when we joined, believe it or whether you want to believe it or not, you think about it, we still had people from the '60s in the Navy.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that? Like that's something else. We still had people. We still had that. The Navy wasn't always
Early 90s. So
Yeah, the Navy wasn't
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
this colorful, joyous community. We had people that didn't like people that looked like us.
Wow.
And it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I
No
didn't
doubt, no
realize
doubt.
that.
Oh, yeah.
They were in the
Yeah.
'60s when we were in. You know what I mean?
Man.
So, but Big Mike, you go in, hey, I had just made first class. I wasn't even getting paid. They're like, he's a junior first class. And Big Mike say, I got him. But he ain't even getting paid yet. I got him. And Big
Yeah.
Mike took me,
Yeah.
he put me to the side. He said, "Here's what you need to do." And goddamn it, I tell you something, I'm here right today
Yeah,
because
Big
of that
Mike real,
motherfucker right there.
man.
Big Mike,
Big
real
Mike
cat,
real.
man. I love him, man.
Big Mike is real. Shout out to Dave Harris. That's why I was talking about the AZ Max Chief as well.
Okay,
Dave Harris.
okay.
Yeah, that's how I got to meet Big Mike through Dave Harris.
Big
yeah.
Mike, good people.
Yeah, Big Mike, man. He a real cat.
Yeah,
but like I
yeah.
said, you said Big Mike, you named a couple other people like
Yeah.
anybody else?
Yeah, there's a couple. Rocky Raleigh, he's an LDO that I still talk to. Rich Simpson, man, he's another one. He was a Mo at 106. And then I don't know if you guys know Augustine Mark. You guys know Mark?
No.
Mark was a CMC, man.
Okay.
He was a CMC over at. He was the CMC for all the FRCs.
Okay.
But that's a good brother too, man.
Yeah.
Mark, I don't know, somebody had did something. We was in Zama, which in Japan. Mark would knock a cat out, man, in heartbeat. I don't know how he made master, but he would, man.
Okay.
But-
we go.
Okay.
He said,
Knock him out. Mark would stop people at the gate. Somebody mistaken me for somebody. He was stopping everybody at the gate like he was security.
Okay.
Stopping at the
Okay.
gate, looking in, man. He retired now. Good
Yeah.
people, man. He retired a couple years ago, but he's good shit.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's another guy.
So
though. But that's
again, man. We gotta wrap this one up.
yes, sir.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
what I'm
Yes, sir. I
saying?
know we do.
Hey, I thank you for inviting us in. Sharing your story, being the inspiration, being the leader that you are. You know what I'm saying? Being the influence.
Yes,
you
sir.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being the representation that many young sailors who look like us need. And I definitely appreciate it. You already let us know December 6th.
Yes, sir.
You're punching out. We definitely gonna be there. And just thank you for allowing us to invade your space.
My man.
And
Your family, man. You know that, right?
oh, absolutely. and conversate with you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we don't got much left.
Salute,
but,
man. It's all good. We're gonna
cheers.
salute, man.
Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers.
My man.
Again, like I said, thank you for having us. Thank you for allowing us in your space, and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys coming, man. And I know my man don't want to do it right now, but you guys got stories to tell too, man. Like you got to get on the other side of that camera,
Yeah.
because you guys got stories too.
No doubt.
So
One day.
yeah, one day,
One day.
I got you, I got
But
you.
JJ,
I got
man.
yours right now,
yeah,
bro.
right now it's all about the people. I appreciate you, man. Like I say, you, for me, you was like that guy, like I'm looking up to, like this motivation. I'm outside the lines. I'm like, man, if this dude keep going, I can keep going. You know, like he got it in him, I got it. It's this friendly competition.
Yeah.
You know, I applied for LDO, warrant officer, didn't get selected. Maybe that wasn't my path.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, well, they talk about it now, but it's all good. But I done something greater, staying enlisted. So
got you.
that's why I gotta respect that and appreciate that. But bro, you like that. You are that face. You are that face for us to like. Wow, you made it that far. Left. Like I said, people in Houston don't understand the icon that you are.
Right.
The things that you have done. We take it for granted while we in. We feel a certain way. But when you retire, it's like, I put some work in.
Yeah.
I put some work in. I saved some people's lives. I save a lot of people's lives. And it's about this giving back for me. Coming from where I come from, I love it. I can't move back there, but I just love it. It's just I'm a different lifestyle. I'm doing things differently. But to see you and see how you grew through JP, you know what I'm saying? Because JP was like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy. Like when I made Chief, we were stationed together. But he's like, man, my man JG made Chief too. No, he telling me about you.
Right.
I mean, the dude talking about you like, that's my big brother. Like that's my guy. That's my guy. Like he made Chief. So I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? Blah, blah, blah. And then we talking about basketball and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then we finally met. So it's like, that crew that you have, you stay connected with them.
Yes, sir.
You know, and we all have them. We all have them crews like them cliques. Like, hey man, I've dealing with this dude since I was a young E1 and E2, and he's one of them guys for you. And he's one of them guys for me. Like he looked out for me majorly, so many different times. So it's like, it's a beautiful thing how we can come together through other people, through solid people, good people. Cause we come in contact with some people, we like, I mess with you, but I really don't mess with you.
Yeah.
You're a little different.
Yeah.
But thank you, man, for giving me your time, them 30 years, you know, use your military discount. You earned it. You know what I'm saying? You earned that.
I got you.
You earned that.
I got you.
Use that military discount, baby. You earned that, man. It's not too many people that get that. You gotta, hey, I need the military discount. You gotta get the military discount, man. You paid for that.
Okay.
I paid for that, man. I'm just trying to tell you, the man paid for that. The military discount offer, hey, they offer it to you. You know, be there for it.
I got you.
You know, again, man, you did a lot for a lot of people, man. You inspired a lot of people, and I'm glad that you came through and blessed a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
And constantly giving back. This is who you are. So congratulations to you, the family, the retirement.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And you ain't done. You still got work to do.
I still got work to do.
That's your energy.
You're right.
That's your energy. But take some time off, man. You deserve it.
Thank you so much.
I promise you, you deserve it, man.
Love you,
You deserve it, man. I thank you. You understand, man? Like you that dude for me. You that dude for me.
I don't hear him say that often.
Yeah, but I promise you, man. This
He
dude
don't say that often.
This dude, he done some stuff. He humble with it. He give credit to everyone else, but he ain't taking nothing for himself. But he humble with it. But he that dude. Hey, I'm gonna say it for you. I'm gonna say it for you because I'm telling you, like,
them my dudes.
Yeah, like you don't take that credit.
I don't get to see his dude often.
You put that work in, and people recognize that, man. You know, the real ones recognize that.
Yeah.
You know, 33 years, you walking away, it's a different mentality. He walking away at 30 years. I walked away at 30 years. You doing more than 30? Bruh, come on. 20 is a lot.
Yeah.
30 is a lot. You did more than 30? Love, my brother.
I love you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate you,
man.
my man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah.
All right.
No doubt.
Family, baby.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate this.
Man. Peace.